Kuwait and the Republic of Korea shares plenty of bilateral relations and very solid ones since the independence of Kuwait on 1961. Those number of bilateral relations and the close relationship comes in different forms and shapes, specifically at energy and oil sector, business-wise, infrastructure-wise, and many more. So please join us for more.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On the occasion of the National Foundation Day and Armed Forces Day of the Republic of Korea, I extend my best wishes for the continued peace, progress, and prosperity to the state of Kuwait. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate His Highness the Amir Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah on the first anniversary of his accession to the throne, and His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Mishal Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah on the first anniversary of his appointment as Crown Prince, wishing them everlasting health and success. I also convey my best wishes of good health and success His Highness the Prime Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, and my sincere greetings to all the people of Kuwait. To begin with, let me first appreciate the Kuwait government's effective quarantine measures and expansive vaccination policy. It has led to a dramatic decrease in the number of daily COVID-19 confirmed cases here. Being convinced that we are now approaching the beginning of the end of the pandemic, I am very pleased to see that our two countries have maintained relentless cooperation even during the pandemic. There are many reasons as to how this is possible. First, it is possible because our two countries have continued to build up a comprehensive partnership. We have developed our relations based on profound friendship and steadfast mutual trust for more than 40 years in diverse fields and various ways. Our partnership has not been confined to economic ties, but has developed across political, cultural, and even scientific fields. Second, we have always been working together to benefit each other. Our relationship has remained the epitome of the spirit of mutual benefit. Korea is the second largest importer of Kuwait's crude oil, while Kuwait is Korea's second largest oil supplier. The accumulated amount of tender order awarded to Korean companies here is reaching up to a remarkable 49 billion US dollars. Korea is the 10th largest investor in Kuwait at the moment. Furthermore, Korea has so far supplied more than 1.4 billion test kits to help Kuwait fight against the pandemic. However, our relations cannot be described just by the numbers, volumes, size of our project. There is something more enduring, special, and intimate in them. We can feel it whenever we are mesmerized by the beautiful skylines over Sheikh Jaber Causeway at night, and whenever we enjoy a pleasant drive along the first ring road, and whenever we conjure up the images of a pure water being pumped out from the Doha desalination plant in Kuwait. These are just the small parts of what Korean engineers and workers have devoted themselves to in Kuwait.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your most interesting show at Kuwait English channel, Capital Exchange, where we shed light on Kuwait's bilateral relations with its greatest allies. And today we're having a very special guest and very special interview with His Excellency Chung Byung-ha, the Ambassador of the Republic of Korea here in Kuwait. First of all, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. You speak like Korean.
Really? Thank you so much for this. Really appreciate it. So we would love to proceed with the greatest relations between Kuwait and Korea since very long time, since the 60s specifically.
Next year, we'll mark 45th anniversary of our diplomatic relationship and 60th anniversary of our bilateral energy cooperation. Let me give you a little bit of chronology.
Please.
Back in 1961, we recognized Kuwait as a state. And then back in 1964, we imported crude oil from Kuwait. That was the first time for us. And in 1972, we opened a trade representative office in Kuwait. In 1975, a Korean company started its first project in Kuwait.
Wow.
And then 1979, we made a diplomatic relationship. So it's interesting to see that economy came first,
Before
and
politics.
then politics and diplomacy, and oil flew first. And then Korean companies' workers came in Kuwait.
Brilliant. This is a very long and rich history between both nations. Okay, speaking about the present and the future goals between both nations.
Yes, we have declared our relationship as comprehensive and mutually beneficial and forward-looking relationship, which is already strategic on the ground.
Yes.
We have developed this comprehensive relationship, and we built the trust and strong partnership, which gives a further momentum to our political relationship and cultural relationship. Now our political and cultural and the human exchanges can give more impetus and lead our economic affairs. Last year, our trade volume reached $13 billion.
Wow. That's an annual base.
Yeah, annual basis.
Wow.
And this year, I expect much more. And last year, we imported a lot, mostly oil, but we exported to Kuwait automobiles. For example, we exported $400 million worth of exportation. And among them, 25% was automobile.
Okay, brilliant.
Now we have witnessed the increasing demand for the Korean cosmetics as well.
Yes, they are quite famous nowadays here in
Yes.
Kuwait. Kuwaiti culture and the Korean one shares plenty of tangible and intangible aspects, specifically when it comes to education, as education here in Kuwait and Korea considered a matter of pride. So Kuwait and Korea shares this plenty of relations and a very solid and prominent collaborations when it comes to education. And passing by the cultural aspects between them and getting to know more about the education, how could Kuwait and Korea make further investments on this sector specifically?
Well, education sector, actually, that is one of my priority as an ambassador to promote. We have a special website for promoting the education, Kuwaiti students who wants to study in Kuwait. And I will show you the websites. That's the kind of Study Kuwait. Study Kuwait in Korea. Through that website, you can see how you can apply for the Korean universities and what kind of accommodation you can get, and even how you can spend your quality time during the vacation.
Oh, okay.
Since last year, KFAS started select a small number of very talented high schoolers and send them to Korea to study Korean technology and the STEM educations, for STEM educations. And Kuwait restarted its special program for Arabic language training for Korean college students this year. I think it is a very encouraging trend. So we can promote our educational cooperations on many fields. For example, we opened Korean Language Center.
An official one.
Official one
Yes.
in Kuwait University. It's called Sejong Language Institute. Okay. Sejong means, actually it's named after the King Sejong who invented the Korean alphabet.
Wow.
The language center already opened back in November 5th. It's last year. This year, this Sunday.
Yeah.
And then application, we expected a small number of applicants, but it's huge.
Yes.
It's more than 200 for the vacation of just 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So you can see that very diverse applicants from 20s to 60s.
Wow.
So I can see the increasing demand of the Korean language. Yeah. It's quite essential for us to understand each other's language,
absolutely,
to understand this deep culture. So I think it's a very good trend, encouraging.
Yeah, and I think the Korean heritage and culture are putting more influence here in Kuwait, because you just gave a real life example when people on the age of 20, still the 60s, are applying for this course. So it's like a mind-blowing idea of learning a third language or a second language here in Kuwait.
That's right.
Passing by the energy sector, we would love to hear more about the collaborations between Kuwait and Korea.
Well, as I said, we imported first crude oil from Kuwait. So that means Kuwait takes a special place in our energy cooperation. Back in 1970s and 80s, we have lots of oil shock.
Yeah.
Whenever we had an oil shock, first and second, there is no stop of oil flowing from Kuwait. Kuwait continued to export oil to Korea. We cannot deny that kind of importation of oil from Kuwait had been a cornerstone for our economic development.
Yes.
So, and then we obviously support Kuwait when we have an invasion from Iraq. So our story testifies that the best example of all the saying, friends in need is the friends indeed.
Absolutely. And both nations were backbones for each other, through thin and thick, as they call it.
You can say that on the head.
Yes. Okay. How about the cooperation when it comes to the building and construction sector?
Building, infrastructure and construction areas is the main areas of our cooperation. So far, we have won $40 billion, more than $48 billion of the tenders in total so far from Kuwait.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yes.
And I'm very proud to say that somebody just told me that 1/5 of infrastructure of Kuwait has been built by Korean companies. I don't know whether it is true or not. But
they are right.
We have already participated in realizing the Vision 2035 through construction of very symbolic and strategic infrastructures. For example, new refinery project and LNG terminal and Jabal Causeway, which is the longest causeway in this part of the world. So Korean government and the Korean companies are very proud of being the part of Kuwait's development. So we are expanding our areas of cooperation into more futuristic areas like healthcare and renewable energy, smart city, and even smart farm.
And now we're having cosmetics as well, which is something secondary, but you could imagine the influence here.
That's right.
And by the way, the Korean drama is amazing, just to let you know. People here love it so much. The first oil and crude shipment went out of Kuwait to Korea in 1964, and the first diplomatic ties came across each other was in 1979. that would definitely give you a shape of how the investments are going very well between both nations. For example, the annual investment of money and collaborations between both nations last year went up to 14 billion US dollar, and I believe by the end of this year it will reach even beyond this. So to many more collaborations between both nations. Going through applying all of those necessary collaboration when it comes to Kuwait Vision at 2035, how would you see Korea and Kuwait at that stage?
Well, every country has a vision.
Yes.
Korea has our own vision, and Kuwait has a great vision of the Vision 2035. We are sharing our experiences with Kuwait. During that process, we learned a lot because Kuwait today is not given, it's earned. We know Kuwait's people work very hard, and the leaders has a great vision. So our two visions has a kind of a synergy effect to realize each other's visions. So Korea and the Korean companies actually and Korean governments will be a faithful partner for realizing the Vision 2035. And also we shared a kind of values of freedom, peace, and prosperity.
Brilliant.
That's very important.
Very important.
So we are doing our best to realize each other's vision based on the shared values. So I think we can say that Kuwait is a kind of shining country in the Gulf area, in the Gulf Sea, but Korean government and Korean companies can make Kuwait even more shining.
Thanks so much for this compliment. Really appreciate it. When it comes to infrastructure and construction here in Kuwait, Korea played a pivotal role in shaping the new Kuwait, or the new cities of Kuwait. Since the 1960s up to the 80s and 90s, they played a very pivotal and prominent role in the infrastructure of Kuwait, with huge projects and many projects that will come in the near future. Many real-life examples we can see and notice nowadays, specifically Sheikh Jabir Al Ahmed Sabah Causeway. This is a marvelous masterpiece by the Koreans. They played a crucial role in designing it and make it happen reality. Your Excellency, thank you so much for the information provided about this mega and rich history between both nations. But now coming to a sector where everyone loves, which is tourism. I would love to know more about people who are interested in visiting Korea on that specific aspect.
We have seen the increasing number of Kuwaitis want to travel Korea. But let me tell you the very important fact that you don't need a visa to visit Korea. But only thing you need is the electronic travel authorization. So you can apply for it through the special website, and you can get a response within the 72 hours. Once you get the travel authorization, it should be effective for 3 years. And if you are under 17 or over 65, you don't even need that travel authorization. You can visit anytime to Korea to enjoy the tourist attractions in Korea.
Interesting. And coming through all of those information about tourism, we have to stand on the memorandum of understanding when it comes to civil aviation, specifically having flights from Kuwait to Korea. Are there any solid foundation for this to be applied?
Well, we have already had air service agreements between our two countries. According to the previous one, our two countries can fly twice every week.
Okay.
But flying twice, it does not meet some need for the economic feasibilities. So we had negotiations, and during the last consultation, we agreed that we can increase the number of flights, frequency of a flight, to 5 times instead of 2 a week. And if Kuwaiti side wants to launch the flight to Busan, we can add 2 more. So in total, we can fly 7 times. So I think it's the frequency of a flight is very important to meet the economic feasibility. of this flight. So we have enough ground to fly directly to each other, capital city. So I hope the Kuwait Airways can launch direct flight to Incheon.
I hope so. And coming across Busan, I believe that you are willing to host the World Expo in 2030 at Busan. I would love to hear more about it, please.
Obviously Seoul is one of the best tourist attractions.
Yes.
If you experience past, present, and the future, you have to visit Korea, particularly Seoul.
I would love to.
And also Busan is one of the very good tourist attractions in Korea. Actually, Busan is the second largest transshipment port in the world.
Wow.
So very large port city. And it has kind of lots of the various travel attractions, tourist attractions. And particularly Busan is hosting.
Yeah.
Let's try to host the World Expo 2030. Busan wants to host the World Expo to find the solution to the challenges that we are facing, such as climate change and the digital gap and the growing, the complete inclusive growth.
Yeah.
So when we consider the Busan is one of the best tourist attractions and has enough the experiences of holding international conferences, actually, I think Busan is one of the best places to hold the Busan the World Expo.
Yeah.
Actually, it's try to host the expo under the theme of transforming the world, the navigating toward a better future. So through that World Expo, I think we can deal with some the problems of the divides and the fractures in the global community, and to make it more sustainable, and we can find some solutions, the meeting the various challenges coming from the various sorts of the problems. So just imagine, Kuwait has a big pavilion.
Yeah.
At the center of one of the greatest port cities in East Asia.
Yeah.
That will be cool.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I hope the Kuwait come along with us.
I would love to, and I can't wait until I visit Busan very soon, and specifically when they host the World Expo. Just before concluding, I would love to say congratulations on the mega achievements that the national football team made at 2002. They made every Asian person very proud. And till this moment, it's considered a remarkable record in Asia for that fourth place the national football team made at World Cup. Thank you so much for this lovely interview. We really appreciate your lovely efforts and time. And until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
After all of this demonstration and exploring all of those great relations and bilateral relations specifically between the Republic of Korea and Kuwait since the 1960s continuously to the present, and more development and collaboration in different aspects in the future, I believe that those relations would flourish more and more and shine. 감사합니다.